It has taken me nearly 4 years to make this YouTube episode. Today we are on board motor yacht Loon, one of, if not the most well-known yacht in the super yacht industry. The goal for us today, alongside the Ocean Air media crew and IYC, is to introduce you to motor yacht Loon and then let you go and follow their journey as they document daily what it is like to be motor yacht Loon. They even have a full-time media creator on board to document the experiences for you to watch. That is how it is supposed to be done. This boat has been documenting life on board Loon unlike any yacht in the world. Nobody is doing it the way that they are, and I believe it's truly worth watching. On today's episode, we will be documenting what it takes to prepare motor yacht Loon to get it ready for a guest style experience. No better way to do that than to walk the decks in their shoes. So let's begin, shall we?
Top. You need a hand with the jet skis.
Starting with the deck department. User guests will probably never realize or even consider that every time this boat moves, it gets completely caked in salt. All the windows are covered in salt, all the railings, there'll be water stains on the teak from the salt water, but you as a guest will likely only ever see this boat in pristine condition. How?
So every time the boat moves, we usually would try and start rinsing all the decks, all the stainless, as soon as about 30 meters before we drop the anchor. Usually in areas where the guests are not. And then we usually have a night guy that stays up from 3 o'clock in the afternoon till 5 a.m. in the morning. That works throughout the night, rinses the boat, scrubs the teak if there's any dirt on the teak. And yeah, you would just get everything ready for us to just go straight into focusing on the guests the next day.
It's a full-time operation to keep this boat looking absolutely perfect.
If you guys need a hand down there with the jet skis or anything, just let me know.
Often as guests, the moment you arrive on anchor, particularly when there's kids on board, they want to run down to the swim platform. They want to see all the available toys, of which Loon has a huge amount of available toys. And I know you have some more coming, like slides, which we'll touch on. But whilst they are underway, they will begin to prep this area to be as quickly and as available for the guests as possible. Could you just quickly run us through the process and how long it takes to get it looking like this?
There we go. So we'll usually get a heads up like 30 minutes out before we get to anchorage. Guys will start heading into the beach club. We'll start getting everything set up right before the door. At the moment the anchor drops, doors opens up and everything just comes out, like 3-4 guys pushing everything out, 2-3 guys up on the bow, getting the tenders in, the jet skis in. Each person has a role. We usually talk through it before we get to anchorage. No one's really unsure what to do. So I would say we can push it to about 15 minutes for the setup.
Which is absolutely insane because you've got 2 sea bobs here, 2 jet skis, hydrofoil, golf clubs set up on the back deck. And I know Loon has more in terms of slides and all that coming, but obviously follow Loon to see their toys as they do a toy showcase later in the summer. But otherwise, a really impressive setup. In terms of having everything charged and ready, how does that work?
So that's part of the night guy's duties, the one that stays up throughout the night. He will flush, rinse, refuel, just make it pristine for the next morning. Just before the guest comes up, everything will come back out, as we don't really leave anything out throughout the night.
It takes an absolute team of people to be able to achieve what Loon does, and they do it incredibly well. over to the interior. When it comes to you being a guest, you get to experience the boat and the cabin as much as is necessary. You'll see they've got huge showers on board this boat, big waterfall showers, big baths, beautiful king-size beds. The moment you wake up in the morning and you head for your coffee, by the time you come back, this room will look like it does now, as if nobody has even been in this room. Can you tell me a little bit about your process, how you and your team managed to efficiently get this cabin to look like this in such a short space of time?
So it's all about communication, and obviously we all have radios. What we do is the girls on service, and as the guest wakes up, they go to the table. We have one of the girls on service radioing the housekeeping girls that the guest is awake. When that happens, two of the girls come down here. They grab their cleaning caddies, they come straight into the bedroom. Rule of thumb is they always go for the bed first, so they come to the bed, they make the bed very quickly, they iron it, put the throw pillows back on, and then at least that way if the guest does come back down to the cabin, it looks like it has been touched and it has been made. After the bed, they go straight into the bathroom and they get the bathroom done. They start with the showers, blading the showers, shamming it down, alcohol and water in the glass windows and the faucets, checking to see if the shampoo and the conditioner and stuff has been used. They refill that. So yeah, once they've done the bathroom, they come back in here, they do their final dust vac and wipe down all the windows, and yeah, then they give us a radio call saying the cabin's been done, and they go back down to housekeeping until the next cabin's called.
And that's not just a once a day thing. I know that from my previous experience. The moment the guest has a shower, pretty much every time you're in there doing the windows, doing everything, the glass, everything, that shower looks absolutely perfect every time.
Absolutely.
And guests are having 2, 3, 4 showers a day sometimes, correct? So
no, absolutely. And they're always coming back, and they jump on the bed or they get back in the bed. The girls are always constantly, getting radio calls to come back down, do cabin checks, fix the beds up, fix the showers up, and yeah, it's a continuous thing throughout the day.
As you can tell, it takes an absolute team again, not only from the exterior, the interior, just as much to get this vessel to look perfect as much as possible throughout the guest's stay on board. We are now in the main salon, and this table looks absolutely amazing, but I know from experience that if I was to come here tomorrow that it probably wouldn't look like this. So can you just tell me a little bit about the process and how you girls innovate to keep this table looking as amazing day after day after day?
So on board we've got a massive closet filled with decorations. As you can imagine, like most boats, we've got bunches of runners, placemats, decorations, everything you can imagine. Every day on a charter we try to change everything up, so every breakfast is different, every lunch is different, and every dinner is different. We've got the table set here for a dinner. As you can see, it's quite a formal setting. We've got the water glasses. We always have to have the option of a white wine and rosé glass as well as a red wine glass. Depending on what they're eating, obviously that's when they choose what they want to drink. We've got the table set for a starter, a main and a dessert. That's why there's so much cutlery on the table. We always set with a bread plate because the chef does a bread service every meal. So we've got the bread plate, the starter knife, the starter fork, and go inwards to get the main knife and the main fork. Sometimes you can use the same runner and you just mix it up with a different placemat, or it can be the same placemat with a different napkin. It doesn't really matter, but yes, we try to change the place setting up every single meal.
Food on board is arguably one of the most important things for charter guests when they come on board a yacht. You would never go back to the same restaurant for 21 days for breakfast, lunch and dinner. However, when you're on board a boat, arguably you could be eating on board and eating something different every single time. So it's the two chefs' jobs, Dean and Sean, to be able to come up with concepts and plan ahead to have loads of different options for guests. How are you doing that?
So my method is basically what you see up here on this wall. I basically plan before season. I write down all my ideas. I'm constantly jotting down all sorts of stuff pre-season, and as the time goes on, I basically look up here every night, write a different menu. The guests will rarely ever eat the same thing twice, unless they request it and they love the food. So that's my basic thought process behind it, and just using what's in season and what's fresh and what I can get at the markets.
How are you able to plan in terms of provisioning if you're going to be away for long periods of time to keep providing fresh produce every single time?
Ooh, I mean, after kind of 13 years of doing this, you kind of know exactly what to order and what to have on stock. But you don't get it right every time, and being in Europe, it's quite easy just to zip on in on the tender and get what the guest wants.
So essentially, as a guest, you might be on board the same boat, but you'll be in multiple locations eating multiple varieties of different cuisines prepared by the same chef. And I think that's something really to think about. So you have now seen the deck department and how they prep the entire exterior, from the windows all the way through to the toys and the tenders. You've seen the interior department and how you'll never see another table setting the same if you were a guest on board. But arguably the most important is in terms of the planning, the itinerary, and actually dealing with the guests. Could you run us through the process of organizing a charter for a guest for them to have this ultimate experience?
Yeah, of course. So a charter starts about a month before the guests even step on board the boat. It's when the contracts start getting signed. We start getting funded in the APA account, which is our expense account for the running of the charter. And then we get together as a team. We get together with the chief officer, the chief stew, Maxine, the purser, and we all come together. We brainstorm. We look at the itinerary, and depending on where the beginning and the end destination is, anything special that the guests have requested, any special destinations, activities, birthdays, anniversaries, any of that sort of stuff. And then we sort of plug that in. And then from there, we go into just putting it into a Google Calendar. And then that's when Maxine goes to work locking in all the restaurant reservations, the drivers, chartered helicopters, whatever we can do to make, the charter that next level special.
The other thing is, I know Paul has been doing this for some time. This is not his first rodeo. So when it comes to being able to put on a special experience, you certainly have some of your favorite spots and ones that you've kept under wrapped to present to guests and give them that extra special experience.
Oh, definitely. I've been in the yachting industry since 2000, been a captain for the last 15 years. Hundreds of secret spots all over the world, especially now that we're doing the social. Always makes it a little exciting because, often I'll say to Blair, oh, be careful putting the drone up in that area and stuff to not give away our secret spots. Like fishermen, you don't want everybody else to be in your special location.
So then it goes to say that whilst you see a lot of what Loon is doing all the time, you don't get to see absolutely everything until you come on board and experience it.
Exactly.
Loon and Captain Paul is one of the first boats that's allowed us to really showcase the behind the scenes and the prep to get a boat like this ready for you as a guest. An extremely forward-thinking platform, and I really do want to emphasize how important it is to go and subscribe to Motor Yacht Loon. They will be showcasing a lot more than we have in the last 2 days on board, and truly congratulations on that forward-thinking approach. I think it's going to be a huge success.
Awesome. Been an absolute pleasure having you on board, and really excited to see what this turns into.
Like and subscribe to Loon.